Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Dan and Kyle Do Hollywood. Today I have a couple special guests. Ranger J 1999 from RSG. Give us a hello.
I'm trying to pick your stuff. Leave me alone.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Dan and Kyle. And I have a good friend and colleague, Fruguy. Give him a hello.
He's dead. He won't be joining us.
Okay. And my co-host, the one and only, the Dagger.
Hey!
So how is everybody doing tonight?
Doing good.
How is everybody's JA?
Oh, well, it's gone.
I was going to say I'm a little angry because they took away my toys again.
And this is why we don't take away toys.
Well, sometimes you got to take away something to get something. I don't know what that means. I just made that up.
I mean, it sounds reasonable.
Yeah, it does. It
Yeah.
sounds relatively reasonable.
Yeah, it's science, so there you go.
Always science. Oh, this is taking forever to load up. What the hell? There we go.
All right.
I also want to say I wasn't ready. I am now into the Division 2, setting 8 teams is, ooh boy, really stretching the roster thin.
Well,
Yay,
so I gotta have
150
that.
crystals.
You got to make sure you got your teams on both sides of the aisle ready to go.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah, I definitely remember putting my Rogue One and Phoenix behind my Darth Revan team for a month. That was me last GAC.
yeah. No, so I wasn't expecting just them to lower the bar when GAC started. So I was in a position that I could have. So I think I was at 3.6 when GAC started. And then we got the we realized that they were lowering it to 3.8 million to set 8 teams, and I was down, I think, like 3 teams, so that's a little tight, but as you can see, I'm working on a bunch of stuff. I'm just gonna have to go, crappy offenses or a little bit crappy defenses for a little bit until I get those teams up.
Well, that's a smart play. I mean, if you're going to do GAC and you're lacking on defense, make sure you get your offense squared away, right? So that you can get those points, because most defeats are, they're almost all offense.
And
yeah. It doesn't make sense,
to gimp yourself.
Don't gimp yourself, kids out there in TV land. Make sure you're not gimping. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Or Bruce Willis will have a thing or two to say to you. For those who have watched Pulp Fiction.
Go wake up the gimp. He's sleeping. We'll wake him up.
So, Malik is back. Ranger, did you get Malik a second time?
No, I helped everybody else get Malik a second time. That's what I was doing. These last 2 days have been a blur because I'm glad to do it, but it's just been constantly like helping people, getting on Zoom calls, helping people get Malik because they're just missing a thing here, or was missing basically a thing here and there that was keep preventing them from doing it. It wasn't. Everyone was like, it's my mods. I'm like, no, just get on the call with me and I'll show you what to do. And they beat it the first time. It's like, it's strategy. It's not mods.
Absolutely.
If you know how to control, it's the light side. If you can control if you kill the robots and control them and control his stacks, you're going to do it. And get armor shreds. Those are the 2 most important things. Control the robots, control his stacks, get armor shreds on. And if you got 4 more, you were good. You know, and I had a ton of people that I sat through, and it's like, no, don't do that. Don't stop. Don't do that. I thought I was going to kill Kazakage. I was like, no, stop. Do stuff where I tell you to do it.
Yeah, no. So, and I always waited till the droids were back up because more chances of crit. Because all you need to do is have one of the AOE hits to crit. And a lot of people didn't realize that. They were trying to crit on Malik. I was like, no, you don't want to crit on Malik because then you get feared.
It's bad. It's bad, okay? And then it was like, why are we doing crit immunity? So, like, you don't get feared. It's going to come down to the end, and you really don't want to be getting feared.
Exactly.
It's like a mug.
And
so,
I ran 60% crit chance on my Zalbar, and at the end, I think I critted him a couple times with Zalbar, and I was like, "You're not supposed to be getting crits."
mm-hmm. But it is what it is, and I'm glad for everybody that got Malik.
Oh,
so congrats to everybody out there that got Malik.
Yeah,
that is big deal.
Fruguy, how's your Malik?
Oh, I have the other white Malik, but he's not done yet.
So there's actually a story behind that.
Yeah.
Dagger, do you want to explain the story, or?
Oh, sure. So I started putting Stormtrooper on defense with my Darth Revan team as a secondary tank because the AI on him only taunts when there's somebody not taunting. So when they would take away Sith Trooper taunt, he would then use his taunt move. So after like a little bit of testing and figuring that out, I put him on defense because I didn't have Malik and I wanted to take Thrawn off the team. So I started calling it the White Malik team, and I was like attributing all of my wins to the Stormtrooper being there when it was really the Gear 13 tunes around him.
Oh, that was so funny. The first time he sent me that screenshot, I was like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "I won though." I was like, "I mean, if it works, it works, right?"
Yeah, so I'll be getting Malik the next time around. I still haven't got Darth Revan yet, so
one step at a time, my friend.
Yes, sir. Just gotta stay focused.
Yes, that's my big thing. I'm always preaching: stay focused, stay on target.
Absolutely. And we're actually in a few minutes. We're actually going to be talking about staying focused and how to keep yourself focused.
It's not easy.
Oh.
It's
So basically, just don't listen to DPK. You'll be fine.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, no, I give the most horrible advice ever. So, Dagger, how did your Malik event go?
I would never break terms of service, but I got Malik. I attempted the light side once and rage quit.
You forgot something.
Oh yeah, I also Zeta Veers, and I don't have any Zetas for Malik. Yes. Okay, so to tell the story more completely, I stayed up till 2 a.m. I'm like, I'm going to try this event myself because I historically don't like doing these events. I was like, let's just get it out of the way. I did one attempt at the light side following Operation Metaverse's guide. Sorry, Ranger.
It's okay.
It took 12 minutes, and I died. And then I Zeta Veers, turned my phone off, and went to sleep. And then Kyle graciously helped me get Malik. And now I have no Zetas for him.
Yeah, I was a little bit upset myself. I like 4 days before Malik was even announced, I went ahead and Zeted Dooku for territory battles. So I'm a little bit salty on that, and I threw Zeta on. I had 2 Zetas saved, and I was like, I was expecting Malik to not come back for another 2 months. I thought they were going to make his cadence 6 months. Boy, was I wrong. So I wasted a Zeta on... Well, not wasted, it's still good Zetas. GBA Unique and Dooku. So, I mean, I was able to complete the Phase 2 mission with Dooku this time. So it's not that bad. But I am a little bit salty. I don't have my Zeta saved up, so...
Well, you still need 68,000 for 100 GAT. token. So
Yeah, that's also another pain point. I had about 30K saved up. I'm almost to 6-star.
I
Oh,
had 40 shards worth saved. I don't know what that equates to, but I had 40 shards saved.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
well, you're ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Because that was an awful surprise for all of us that
Yeah,
got him the first time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I blame myself a little for some of that because I also thought Malik was going to be on like a 6-month, maybe even like rotation. I kind of saw the writing on the wall when the Padme event was coming back, and I was like, because it started a day early, which meant if it would end a day early, and then that gave you the 4-day weekend for Malik.
Yeah.
Especially with like Padme requiring the chirotex, and again the resource drain that CG likes to do, and on top of that we had I think we had credit heists in back-to-back weeks for the first
Oh
time since
yeah, dude.
Alex
That was
first
freaking
thing.
weird. That was, and then the whole resource ability map pack. Usually
Yep.
they drop those. They don't drop them that often, but it was like I want to say like 21 days or something. I looked up, and I was like, okay, so yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, so I was able to save up all the gear to get him to gear 11 day, but it was not expecting him back that early. I had like essentially, like most people, 7 days heads up where I was like, oh, I guess this is happening now.
Yeah, that was definitely one heck of a surprise. I was not prepared, but I did.
Nope.
I was able to get. He's currently at gear 10. I need the purple speed balls for him, and I think a stun gun. But I got his Kairos done as of right now.
Well, there was a little bit of foreshadowing for his potential comeback because when they released the August calendar, the first 3 weeks had no legendary events in it.
Yeah. So I honestly wasn't thinking that it was gonna. I thought it was gonna return in like September or October. I can't remember.
I was also operating under the assumption because at one point they said that they would give us a week's heads up for the second returning of events, and I somehow incorrectly assumed that they would extend that
they would do
courtesy
something
to
differently
Malik.
with Malik. Yeah. Nope, not so much.
Right? Like, no. So yeah, it was. If you read the tea leaves correctly, you could kind of guess it. But yeah, it was not something that I think most people were quite ready for. I just knew it was going to be probably before the next time Darth Revan came around.
Yeah. Well, and that's also kind of why I did the Zetas on what I did. I spent my Zetas is because the Padme event came originally after Malik, and then it came before Malik this time. I'm like, what the hell? So it definitely threw me off. So that is another reason why I was like, might as well burn the 2 Zetas. And I pushed my gear on my Geos up quite a bit with a couple of the stun guns I had saved. So it definitely sucks, but he'll get there.
Were you surprised at his return, Ranger?
No, I mean nothing. Capital Gains does surprises me these days. I mean, it makes sense because it was right before the official GAC. I thought it was going to come during the previous exhibition, and once it got started toward the end, I thought that's when they were going to announce it. But after it reached that critical mass where it was past the 90 days and they weren't doing that, I'm like, maybe they are going to shoot for 6 months. My philosophy was it could come back sooner, but every time someone would say a day, I'm like, listen, we have no idea. They're going to drop it when we least expect it. Every time we try to speculate, the thing I always tell folks is just have your stuff ready. The sooner you have your Old Republic team ready to rock and roll and are prepared, then you can start moving on to other stuff, and then you don't have to worry about it. They can bring it back whenever. So, No, it made sense before the new GAC that they did drop it, so some people could have it ready to go for the new GAC, but they probably won't have, the majority of people that just got it will not have it year 12 or 7-star. Some might because they saved up their material, but yeah, a lot of people won't have that.
Yeah, the GOTB really put the damper on because I was not expecting that to come as soon as it did. So I would have had
Yeah.
about 20. No, I would have had. I don't even remember the Hoth rewards now. What the hell? I probably would have been a lot. I would have gotten them to at least 6-star easily.
Yeah. All I know is somebody in one of the people in our shard was like, "Well, at least they won't have Gear 13 Malik soon." And then two of the people who unlocked Malik had him Gear 13 day one, and they're like, and then it was like, "Oh, okay."
Let me tell you about my bracket before when I checked at 5 o'clock to check my bracket. Oh my goodness, I was the lowest GP, and I think only 2 of the people did not have Darth Revan and Malik, and all the people that I was up against had Darth Revan and Malik, or that had Darth Revan and Malik, all had them all at Gear 13. I was like, yay! Matchmaking.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be a lot more common going forward.
It is.
Seeing Malik everywhere. I mean,
But I will say, I think the highest GP I was up against was 4.14. So being at 3.92, it's not a huge jump. I know people that were Division 2 and we're getting 4.5 million going up against 4.5 million guys. I was like, that's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, so the thing is, I always face people that are 300,000 to 500,000 more GP than me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when I look at the character GP, it's even. And then it comes down to what I really look for is Gear 13s because it's not being associated correctly, in my opinion, with who you're facing. You know, a lot of times you're looking, so we could have the exact same character GP, but I could have way more Gear 13s than you. And I think that's one thing that's not being accounted for in, you know, their algorithms. So, I mean, the guy today I was going to face first was 170,000 more GP, but he had no Gear 13s. And then I looked at his modding, and he had no chance against me. You know, so he has 107,000 GP. Our character GPs were exactly the same, but then you look at it, mods and Gear 13s, I had him dead to rights. So
Right.
Something I think they need to keep kind of tweak and look at a little bit more.
I'm like very sure that it is intentional. Gear 13 counts for very low GP because they want to not punish the whales for spending $1 bajillion.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's a little hyperbolic, of course, but I mean, they want the new god tier of tunes, so to speak, right? The Gear 13 a tune takes them from a B plus, A minus to like an A plus, and that includes like almost every tune, just locking in all those Gear 12 plus stats. And I think they want to reward the people who are willing to give them money for extra copies of that effect, as opposed to make matchmaking fair. It is a way to monetize Grand Arena, and I think it's here to stay.
I don't disagree completely. Actually the Gear 13 being low GP. I mean, you're really only putting one gear piece on, and it's not terribly even like Gear 13. It's not not Gear 13. The Gear 12 plus pieces. They don't add a whole bunch of GP when you put them on a character. So I think it's something that maybe should be tweaked because, like, I have, as a free to play, I have 7 Gear 13s. There's people that do a lot better in arenas than I do that don't or that were in my bracket, and they only had one Gear 13. I don't know if I'm just lucky, if I don't like saying it, but maybe I'm smarter, or I don't know. Gear 13, I think, is definitely worth the investment, especially on certain tunes. And that's one thing I think people should look for is what tunes they actually have at Gear 13.
Yeah, you have to be careful about it. I mean, there's obviously characters you want to do, and then certain teams you want to do characters. I mean, I just took Daka to Gear 13. I'm about to take Jedi Revan
Oh
to
my
13.
goodness. She is so ridiculous at Gear 13.
She is.
Oh my gosh.
Especially in GOTB. I mean, I was doing the Phase 3 and 4 missions with her, and she's the reason I got as far as I did in those, because she just won't die. You know, as much as Zombie die, she starts stacking that health. They can't kill her. You know, Phase 4 eventually did. But, I mean, I got to Phase 3, the 4 out of 4 battle, and it was against Padme and Anakin. I'm like, okay, well, this is stupid. And I beat it.
Oh,
because of
wow.
her. Because she had so much health at that point, they couldn't do enough damage to kill her. They would kill the rest of the team. She'd just razz them back up, and then it was on like Donkey Kong. You know, I just slowly dwindled them out with... now, that didn't work so well in the Phase 4, but let's not talk about Phase 4.
Oh my god. So I think there's actually... I think there's a tuning issue there. I think they want us to barely be able to squeak out, you know, 2 waves.
Well, they want to make it as difficult as possible,
Right.
so you have to make an investment as much as possible, because they don't want people... I mean, when they did Hoth, light side, people breezed through. They made dark side a little bit tougher, but it wasn't tough for the top end guilds. It was tough for everybody below that, right? Because you got in there, you're like, what the hell is this? But everybody that was dark, that was, you know, they were damn near beating the thing right off the bat, the top end guilds, and they were pretty bored right after that. They're like, okay, well, we beat this pretty quickly. Kind of like Heroic Sith, it didn't take them long to beat it. So they're looking to push the envelope for... You know, when they say end-game content, they mean end-game content. This is just like any other... You know, they got that... You know, as Carrie talked about before she left, you know, they've got that MMO mentality.
Right.
You progress through each stage of the game to go to the next stage of the game. And that's just the way it is. So we'll just have to get used to it.
Yeah, I think I do like the bar moving, because, you know, that keeps the game alive.
Oh, yeah.
I personally dislike making things artificially difficult for the purposes of being difficult. But that's just me. Right? Like, the preloaded turn meter, like, you can make it, like, I'm not a designer, so maybe I could be completely wrong on this, but I feel like you can make it difficult without, like, going out of your way to, like, Chewbacca event literally everything from here on out.
Yeah.
For lack of a better way to phrase it, we're turning the Chewbacca event into a verb.
Members of the Chewbacca event.
Right? Like, I like the idea of territory battles. I don't necessarily like platoons. I don't necessarily like waves. But, like, the Ackley event is stupid hard, because there's so much DPS and there's so many variables. And I really wish they'd done more things like that, because that was awesome. I still haven't passed it. I still haven't close. But, like, that is something to work for, because that doesn't feel artificially difficult, like 10,000% tenacity, Gear 13, and 500k health pools.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, those health pools are atrocious. Like, even in the ships missions, the tenacity on those ships is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, the last day it's pretty crazy.
Like, I couldn't land a breach to save my life. It's like, come on, I just need a breach so Houndstooth taunts for more than one turn.
So actually what I did on Phase 4, and I probably don't recommend this, and I hope my guild's not listening, is I put in one ship, and it was Houndstooth. And then hit auto. And I won.
How the...
They can't chew through the Houndstooth.
I got the Negotiator in day 4.
So
you
did
must
I.
have gotten lucky.
I got
No, I did
no.
the same thing. But my boss is Gear 13, so I mean, it just they were not able to kill it. But even at Gear 12, you should still be okay. I mean, you still get bad RNG because I remember the first time I did, I was like, all right, we're going to go in here. Okay, they're going to go first. And what? Wait, what? No.
Yeah.
No.
So
No.
the biggest RNG is the ships on the opponent's side of the field, and I promise you, bringing in other ships besides the Houndstooth doesn't help or hurt you based on that RNG. Because if they're going to one-shot your squad, they're going to one-shot your squad. Right?
Yeah.
If you get lucky enough to not have a squad that's going to one-shot your squad, they're going to kill everything but the Houndstooth, and you're just going to have Houndstooth left anyways.
Yeah, that's...
So that allowed me to put everything into platoons. Right? Because I was able to put some of the rarer ships into platoons because I was just like, I'm just going to keep my Houndstooth, and I'm going to roll the dice because if I go against like that stupid like upside down double V looking ship, it's just going to mess me the bleep up. If I get like 2 of those, my fleet's one-shotted no matter what I bring in. So I just had to roll the dice and hope that I got like some good RNG on my opponent's ships, and because the Negotiator's bombs, every time it goes off, it like I don't know how the mechanics works, but how it appeared to me was that those mines triggered his bonus protection, so they didn't actually kill him.
Interesting.
That upside down W fighter is the V19 Torrent dagger.
Yeah, that thing messes you up.
They hit hard.
Yes, they do. Yeah, I think until I think it was the iconic items they called it. I think when we get those, we might see a dramatic alleviation of the difficulty in TV, possibly.
I don't think this TV is going to get any easier until we start adding additional pieces past Gear 13.
Or a level increase.
Or
A leveling would help, but I don't know. Again,
well, it'll reduce the reason that their tenacity is not any different than ours. The difference is because they're such a high level.
The level, yeah.
The level is what's making the difference. So that's the insanity of it. So if we were like level 90 facing those mods, it would be a totally different ball game.
Right.
What it is now. So,
I think it would be, again. I think it would be better, but I think they still have artificially high tenacity on purpose.
oh,
But
sure.
I do agree. I do agree that like a level cap will help reduce some of the RNG / power difference. But I'm just saying, like, I think that a level. It depends on how high we go, right? If we go to just level 90, I think phase 4 is still not going to be super attainable on 4-for-4 outside of a couple of teams, or even 3-for-4.
Yeah, Bounty Hunter's just good. But you have to be strategic about how you use your teams and stuff of that nature, you know. So we'll eventually beat it like we've done for Light Side and Dark Side. We'll get there. This one's going to take a little bit longer than the previous ones, just because the level, as you said, has been up to the nth degree on this. And I can't wait to see Light Side though. That's going to be fun. Ooh.
Light Side's going to be hard. Well, okay. Reading Hoth, the Light Side's going to be harder.
Oh yeah.
So, hey, at least Jedi Revan has and Padme both have stupid amounts of survivability, right?
Right.
You might have a shot with those.
Yeah.
The problem with a lot of the dark side teams, I think, is outside of like Treya and Bosch's power, the Bounty Hunter's power level is just not high enough to compete, I don't think. But there aren't a lot of high level dark side teams that have really good survivability.
Well, Treya does very well. The Night Sisters do very well. First Order's absolutely no. But if you can get your Geos and your droids for the special missions and stuff, then you start getting, you start doing better overall in the GOTB. It comes down to, like, for me, I always give up my Revan and Malak. So I just pop my Basti on a Emperor Palpatine Vader team and do very well with that. So with all those dots, Vader's just slinging his lightsaber and one-shotting fools. Trey is really, really good I'm working on my Marauder to get him into the mix.
I use Marauder with my EP Vader Darkside Bastard.
Yeah,
team.
you can use him on that team, and I mean, so you are very much limited with Darkside and what you can and cannot do. Right, light side's a total different animal.
Yeah,
Because there's
really
so
a big
many teams we
difference.
can use on light side that you can't even come close to doing.
The other thing too is I really like the Gear 13 is evening the playing field, but at the same time the territory battles. If you're a PvE guy, I'm not really a territory battles guy. But if you do like things like territory battles, the GOTB invalidates like 80% of your roster.
Pretty much, like troopers are worthless.
Oh gosh, yeah.
First order's just not cutting it.
Well, I
And
mean,
that's
I
another
went
one.
with isn't bad if you put him on like a team because of his tenacity down.
Yeah, you can take pieces off the first order and use them. You just donate them to platoons and stuff like. Yeah, no.
yeah, exactly.
But I mean, like, bounty hunters are fine unless you get mace,
but
or
he
you get.
only shows up in those
They don't. They
specific-
just don't. With Django Lead or Boss League, especially in past phase 2, like 3 and 4, bounty hunters are worthless because you get into the AOE and stuff. Just nukes them.
Yeah,
They just don't have the survivability. Night Sisters are solid. And I even did that Night Sister team was without Asajj because I'd given her up. So Night Sisters are pretty solid, but we're really limited on what we can use. So those that are giving
excited. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was saying I'm just really excited to try Karth. I think
the Karth
team Zalbar could be really sweet. I just wish Canderous was light side because not being able to use him on the team is going to be a little sketchy. But hopefully, like there aren't a lot of light side characters that put down dots.
Well, I'm trying to think of who you can put in there because you're losing Canderous, but who can you replace him with? I mean, you could probably put Lando Calrissian in there and still get the same effect. Or
I was personally thinking something like L3 and like another character.
Yeah, the Kira prepared team is going to be really solid, I think, in that event because they just regenerate health and protection, right? Same thing with the Padme team and.
What about Nest? Can Nest go 4 for 4 day 1? I want to know if my Nest can 4 for 4 day 1.
No, she's going to get wrecked.
It's worth a shot.
It's worth a shot, but I have low expectations that Nest on phase 1 is going to be like, oh, well, hello there. I'm just going to go, and I'm dead.
Well, I was going to say, the last TB we had, I didn't even get to deploy or do CMs day 1 before 6 stars. So I'm going to ask an officer for the light side TB if I can try it once. Seeing as I think we can get 6 stars even if I mess up one combat mission. I just want to because I have a Gear 13 Nest. So I just kind of want to see if she can do it.
Right.
Not for any other reason. Maybe with Kira. We might throw Kira in there too as a meat shield. But
Kira and Hoda just for
Hoda doesn't have enough stars, sir.
Oh,
and all that
that's right. You suck at Hoda.
I suck at Hoda and Wampa, yes.
You got to get him, brother. Those two characters are amazing.
Well, let me ask you this: is Malik more important than them?
Yeah, but I'm saying after those two, guess what I'm saying after those two,
100%.
Guess what you should be doing.
Not Wampa. I'm getting him through Galactic Bounties.
Sure.
But Hoda, Hoda's going to get finished off after Malik. I waited too long to start him and got them both unlocked, and here we are for Malik.
Right.
But yeah, I want Hoda done, but priorities and stupid Malik. I hate Malik.
Well,
I hate how hard he was to get.
It'll be okay.
He's a stupid good character, though. I'm not upset to have him, just, the hoops to jump through to get him is just...
Yeah.
I don't want to say it, but, there's a lot of hoops to jump through. A bunch of hard nodes and 2 journeys, and then a 2-day event or 3-day...
Yeah, and they're announced that they're going to be doing another one, so it'll be interesting to see which character they do that for and what you'll need for it. Yeah. I mean, I'm at the point in my roster where it's I don't have much left to farm, which is actually nice, right? It's just be ancillary characters that I don't need. would like to have them, right? And I'm not talking about, just a few that need stars. Like Visa's
Yep.
Mars, I'm only like 10 away from her 6 stars. I'll go back and finish her. I'm waiting when they're going to announce when Shakti's going to go, and I'll work on her, and then I'll finish out some of this other stuff. But it's not like the main stuff's done. It's just about getting them to gear 12. They're all gear 11. Most are gear 12. So they have to that balance of keeping us. Unlike last year, I'm sure you guys all remember where we had so many marquees, we didn't know what to do with ourselves, and we were like just trying to figure out what the hell it all meant, right? I mean, we were scrambling trying to figure out what are all these characters that were coming in for Old Republic and Solo, and just like over and over, we're just like, what the hell?
Everybody was farming the Solo, thinking there was going to be a legendary for that, and just didn't pan out.
Nope. Surprise! Here's Chewbacca. Surprise! Darth Revan.
Well, and that's like, so at the beginning of the, I read the
Jedi
tea leaves
Revan.
at the beginning of the year, when they started reworking the droids and gave us Droideka and B1,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, they're going to be needed to get, and I said it when Arnold posted his video. Oh, Grievous is getting reworked, and I was like, they're going to be needed to get Padme.
Or something, yes.
Yeah.
Oh no, I actually said Padme.
Yep. Is anybody else still salty that GOTB gets midriff Padme and we don't?
Oh my gosh.
No.
I'm a little sad.
We don't get battle worn characters.
We get them fresh and exciting.
Man. So how is your guild doing in TB, Ranger?
We got 29 stars. We're shooting for 30 next GOTV.
Beautiful.
So we're getting there. And I'm in MC3, so the other two are doing much better. MC2 and MC1 are much higher on the stars. I can't remember what they got last time, but yeah, they're doing much better. I mean, MW1 is
That's where Mandalore is, right?
Yeah, that's where my friend Mandalore's at, and fellow YouTuber and MCMW brother. And I think they got 31 this last time. I don't remember.
Oh, wow.
I got to confirm that. I know because I know previously they'd gotten 30. I think they got 31. I'm not sure. I think somebody did, but I'll verify that if they did or not. I know they're pushing the envelope. I mean, they're going for it. I know TI is going for it and boring them. So them getting 30 stars, I think, is easy for them to get. It's those last 3 stars that's going to be a biz niche to get. So. Oh
yeah.
It's a race between like who's going to get it and who's not going to get it. So is GOTV up here? That's just the raids. Boo.
Yeah, that's. I'm surprised at how well, even at 3 territory battles, how well the community is actually doing, and I'm loving seeing the content. From everybody from Warrior to Mandalore to even the littler guys. Posting Wat Tambor missions and the Acklay missions. That it's good to see the community coming together to help each other out.
Yeah, they did. Team Instinct and Maw MW they all got 31 stars.
Oh, nice.
Are you actually doing Sith Raid live?
Yes, I am actually doing Sith Raid live. I completely forgot.
Did you use Talia's special there?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. Sorry, I was just curious.
I actually lost Talzin, and it's kind of killing me.
She got annihilated?
No, she had isolate, and I didn't realize.
You can still res her.
No, I can't. In the raid, when they die with isolate, they can't be revived. Because I've used Daka's special a good 2 handfuls of times.
Okay, don't mind me then.
No,
Because I know I got irritated that it worked in PvP. I needed you to kill you. Why are you back?
Yeah, no. I think it was GAC that it did that to me too, and I was like, no, you died with the isolate. You're not supposed to be back.
You know what losing Mother Townsend means, right?
What's that?
That one setting got turned way up.
Oh God, I hate you.
Got to go into your settings. You got to turn the suck down, dude. We talked about this.
Make sure your suck settings are down, guys.
So who here is happy that our new senior producer actually plays Slugga?
Yes, that is that I that elates me.
Yeah, having a senior producer that actually gets to 600 is pretty cool.
And with 5 million GP, he at least plays at a semi-competitive level.
Yeah, just a little bit of 5 million GP.
Yeah, and hopefully he understands what we want out of the game as well, since it's probably close to the same he wants out of the game. Whereas I think a lot of the devs, and I think Terry had alluded to this a couple of times, is that they're trying to put the best product out there that they can, right? They're trying to do the best things they can do. Hopefully this means that we'll get a couple more quality of life things. I mean, again, I'm not like sitting here like gonna like speculate on what we're gonna get, but I hope this means we get a couple more quality of life things, because I think this game could use a couple. That being said, I complain every once in a while about not being able to actually play the game. But then whenever an event comes around, I'm like, thank God there's a sim button. So I'm kind of torn on how, and I'm just kind of torn because like I want to play the game, and you know that awkward moment when I wish Galactic War was hard again. I wish they had like an easy mode and a hard mode.
Oh,
but
I do. I really wish I wish the new people playing could experience what me and Ranger being launch players actually experienced when we started.
Well, I don't want them to have to do that. I just want hard mode. I want to be able to take my Gear 12s in against Gear 12s. Because having them all Gear 9 means I don't actually get to test my teams. All I can do is like test turn order. You know? Like,
yeah. But no, so I missed Galactic War because I actually I decided to play through one with I think it was Geos, and then the next day I played with or yesterday I played through it with Malik, and Geos are really fun. I really like that team.
I do too. I use them on offense almost because they're fun. The Karth team and the Geo team I tend to use on offense because I enjoy using them.
The Karth team, yes. Defensive. Well, actually, I think that it depends. It depends on what you do, because if you put Geos in the front territory and then in the back you put your
well, the Geos are the front line team.
No, see, what you do is you put your, and this is one when you run on defense, is you put your Night Sisters in the same zone front, and then you make them forced to try to use Treya, and then in the back line you have your Geos behind that. Because if Treya is forced to be used, then they can't use Treya against them for a cheap win. Now, if they have GR, they can beat, GR beats the living crap out of Geonosians. I mean, they just do.
Well, they don't lose. You can time out.
Well, it depends on what level your GR is. Like, for me, when I face Gear 12 versus Gear 12, it just gets to the point that the GR team gets so much stacks of courage, they start one-shotting the bugs. And what's happening, too, is they're getting it faster because the bugs, why it's a perfect counter, is because every time they attack those attacks out of turn, especially when your GR teams are all Gear 12 and you got the Zetas, they are getting protection back. So they're just stacking protection courage, and then you're like, and it can go AoE. Well, half the team's dead. So I mean that's why GR is such a great counter. Treya is just like, bugs can't kill her. She just lets them just kill themselves, basically. So but if you're smart, you'll use your Night Sisters up front. And you'll
possibly Padme as well.
You could too, yeah. I mean, the team that I'm thinking about for GAC, Darth Revan, up top with my bounty hunters. Bottom will be Old Republic with Night Sisters. Behind that will be Geonosians with Kira Stall, and then behind Darth Revan I'll put like First Order and Grievous. So I'm going to make my defense, and that still leaves me enough on offense. If anybody's seen me play on I still do more than fine on offense because it still leaves me JTR, CLS, Palpatine, Trey, Jedi Knight Revan. I mean, just down the line. So, it's the things you have to think about. If you're going to put your Night Sisters or Geon down, one or the other, right? If you're going to put Geos down the front, put your Night Sisters behind that, because think of the counters that can be used for it, and vice versa. So that's kind of my thinking. I want to see how that plays out in this next GAC for the fans. Usually I run GAC to make sure that I'm the guinea pig, right? And I win most of my GAC, but I'm not concerned about the win-loss. I'm concerned about showing the fans like counters and what works and testing stuff out so they can look at that and get better at their GAC.
Yeah, I actually record my GACs for the same reason. I tried to show every round on purpose. I tried to use different counters versus different teams instead of the same cookie cutter things. Also, you end up playing musical chairs with a lot of your multi-tagged tunes. Mm-hmm. So because Juhani is below average in the Karth team, I ended up putting in like either Akbar or L3. I think right now I'm landing on L3 because she also cleanses and is another taunt to kind of bounce with Zalbar. And Juhani, you don't want her assisting because she doesn't put down dots and heal the team. I don't like her as a tune, like in the Karth team, but I like her with Jedi Revan. I love her with Jedi Revan because she gives extra stats to that team, so I can pull GK off that team to put him on Padme.
Yeah. See, I actually go the opposite. I love Juhani on that team, and then on the Jedi Revan team, which I use for offense, I just put in Herman Yoda, and then pull GK to the Padme team. Okay. So
I put Jedi Revan on defense because I feel comfortable beating everyone's Darth Revans and Jedi Revans without using my own Darth Revan and Jedi Revan.
Yeah, I just like having because I always put Darth Revan on defense. I just think it makes sense, right? I don't even care about the mods. I just put Darth Revan down, because I know I can beat their Darth Revan with a couple teams that I have, right? Between my Jedi Knight Revan and my Padme team, it's like if I can't beat your Darth Revan, then I don't deserve to win this GAC,
right?
So, which is usually not the case. So Darth Revan usually always goes on defense. The one thing I'm looking to do is change my Darth Revan team, is finish up my Marauder, so I get him geared and into the team, so I can take out Sith Trooper, because I like Sith Trooper more with the Traya team than on the Darth Revan team.
Oh yeah.
The reason you use Sith Trooper is because if you have a weak Malak, you can protect Malak and a lot of the hits will go to him, so your Malak doesn't just get destroyed right off the bat, especially when he's gear 11. Because you're not going to have enough health protection to avoid some of those hits from GR and some of those other teams. So you guys have to think about that kind of stuff. If you are going to run Marauder, you better have you better have your Malak and your Revan super fast so they can go first and do their thing, or you're in trouble. So this is the stuff you guys need to be thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to struggle. I need to try and find a home for Sith Trooper once I finish Malak. But I do have Sith Marauder at gear 12 plus 5.
Oh, yeah, see, that's great. I'd be running him on Revan. And then I think Sith Trooper with the Traya makes sense. Like the debuffs, they regenerate the health and protection. He just works so much better under Traya.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I just don't see myself... the problem with the Traya team is that they don't need a 4th or a 5th. Right? That's the biggest problem you run into with Traya.
Yeah,
it's not that Sith Trooper is amazing with Traya. No arguments, none at all. But the problem I run into is that, against Padme, you want Sith Trooper against Padme because you want the extra taunt.
Yeah.
When you're fighting against, Night Sisters, you don't need a 4th or a 5th. They're just going to die and cost you banners.
Yeah.
Against Geos, you might want Sith Trooper if they're, gear 12 or gear 13, just to have that extra thing to make sure that Traya survives long enough so they kill themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do agree. I actually like taking Nihilus off the team against Geos.
I do
so
too.
You put Nihilus with EP to help you with Night Sisters.
Yeah.
That makes total sense. So it's stuff you got to think about. That's why. But for me, if I have to use Traya versus Bugs, I want to have Trooper as an option. And if I don't have to use them, I don't have to use them. You know, and usually I go in like the team I run is always Sith Triumphant with Maul. My Maul's, you know, the rework they did give him a ton of protection, and his AOE days, for instance, the Night Sister is clutch.
Oh yeah, it really slows down. What is it? DACA and
Dock and Spirit, what they're calling assist and stuns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and if you get him, once you get him to Maul to gear 11, if you mod him correctly, he can have a lot of protection on, especially once you get him to gear 12. He'll have a lot of protection and stuff. All right, when does I get out of here? Stupid Windows update.
The musical chairs thing is something I struggle. I shouldn't say struggle. Struggle in a good way, right? It's one of those things that, like, every GA, you end up having to play musical chairs with your, like, every team is like 3 core tunes and a 4th sort of necessary tune.
Yeah, exactly. Because
and then a 5th optional / luxury tune. Most teams function as a 4-person team.
So I've actually been I use for Night Sisters. I've been using Dooku with Treya because of the counter
He's another good
healer. He basically does the same thing, and he also puts down debuffs as he's attacking. So,
right? Who needs a Zeta Dooku when Dooku already has a Zeta under Treya lead?
Yeah, exactly. Let's not talk about Dooku Zeta. I'm a little bit salty about it still.
I'm getting ready to do. Yeah, I've got to do Newton. Dooku next, or my Zetas to finish up my Separatist Zetas that I want to get done, and I'm like, oh lordy.
Yeah, as soon as I get, I got. What did I get from Raid? Mark 5 droid collars. Yeah. But as soon as I get Malik's Zetas finished, I think I'm going to just place the one on mission and then start working on the Galactic Republic. Because right now, my Galactic Republic, it is not the greatest. Let's see here. I got Padme to gear 8. I'm glad I didn't. No, not Genosians. I'm glad I didn't gear her up anymore, because I would have been super upset if I wasted my Kairos that I had saved for Malik.
Yeah, the Cairo thing is. I still have Shock T to do, and I'm not looking forward to that.
I was discussing this earlier with, I believe, Macias. I don't mind Kairotex being like the new gear piece. It's just a little irritating that tunes need to make gear 8 and to go to gear 13.
Yeah,
right.
It's irritating that you're gating marquees behind Kairotex, because you're already putting these marquees behind a paywall to buy them immediately, and then a farm, usually a hard node wall, and on top of that, you're putting them behind a Kairotex wall.
Yeah.
And it just feels unnecessary. Now, Malik, Padme, Darth Revan, right? Like,
yeah, they're legendary characters.
Yeah, that's cool. That's fine. I get it. But Shock T needs 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something stupid.
Like, on a marquee.
And you know we're going to need her for this new light side GOTV, so it's like
maybe more.
You know, mine's 4-star. I think she's gear 8. She's going to sit her happy ass there until I find out where she's going to be needed at, and then I'll go all in. You know, whether she's canteen or hard no farm, you know, I'll go all in. But it's like I'm kind of saving resources now. I mean, I'm gearing my Separatists to 12, but I'm waiting to see what the reworks are going to be coming up for Lightside GOTV, and I'm also waiting to see which characters, new characters they put in, and what's going to be needed for the gear, because it's like, yeah, it's getting crazy.
Yeah, and that's something I think everybody should be looking out, or at least preparing for. You know, finishing your Separatists, so you can, you know, help your guild in GOTV as of right now. Or because I mean it's not going to go anywhere. Finish your Separatists before you start working on your Galactic Republic or your light side tunes that are going to end up being required.
Yeah,
that is the main key. that's actually a great segue into the next section. I actually want to talk about me and Dagger and Fruguy as well have actually been talking about making your own personal road ahead. What this is basically you're setting yourself up a plan for the next 3 months, every quarter, just like CG does with their road ahead blogs. It's setting yourself up. You if it helps you type it out, write it up, whatever. Get something in writing that's going to help you stay focused. And that's the issue with a lot of players, ranging from anywhere from 1 mil to like some of the people I was facing in GA. I have a pretty damn good roster. It's solid.
We're talking about characters, not mods, right?
Shut up. But
All right, just wanted to clarify.
But my roster's really focused. Since GA came out, I've been focused other than the Ewoks because they operate at Gear 11 just fine. Gearing this specific tunes to Gear 12 if needed, moving them to Gear 13. But like the last 8 months, these 5 characters, Captain Han Solo, Tusken Raider, Lobot, Shakti, and Tusken Shaman, I have unlocked, and they are sitting at Gear 1 level 1 because I have no use for them right now. I've unlocked more characters and brought them up since then, but for the most part, you got to stay focused and finish them to Gear 12, because Gear 12 is now the new Gear 11 with Gear 13, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons I brought this up a while ago, DPK, to you to Fruguy first and then you, was I think everyone in this game should have an idea of the next faction and maybe the next 2 factions they're going to work on.
Oh, absolutely.
And they should probably have a pretty good idea of what their next 5 Zetas should be. And I'm not going to say that they're locked in, because if, let's say I finish a faction, but then like Padme drops, I can then pivot to the Padme faction, finish what I was already working on, and then pivot. Right? You can always add something in, but you should always have like an ongoing idea of what your future should look like, so you don't waste resources. Because in this game,
it's resource management.
Yeah, and I think everyone could benefit from like writing down on paper what their next 2 teams are going to finish are, next 3 teams, and their next 5 to 8 Zetas, obviously with wiggle room, right? But it helps to know where the holes in your rosters are, because having a road ahead helps you identify those holes as well. And I call it a road ahead because that's what CG calls it, but what it really is just like a game plan to not waste resources.
Exactly, because in this game it is a resource management game. If you don't manage your resources right, you end up all over the place, and you're only hurting yourself.
Ray Rock corrected me. It is Padme and Shakti require 3 Chirotechs to Gear 12, but they require additional ones to get to Gear 13. So that number is still like whatever the number is. It's just not all of those are get to Gear 12.
Right.
What are your thoughts, Ranger?
On what, Chirotechs?
Oh, no, like the road ahead thing, like everyone like writing down their next few teams.
So I mean, listen, we talk about all the time in RSG, and that is what a plan, right? When we do roster reviews, stay on target, come up with your plan, and like when we do roster reviews, we tell people where they should go next and what they should be working on for the next little while, however long it takes them, right? And I think it's a good idea. There's so much stuff, and we see rosters all the time that are all over the place. And so what we say is like, look, just focus on these 2 things. Those 2 teams, just work on them, get the gear, and it depends on what they have for, level GP versus, pillars that they need, pillar tunes versus, where their guild is, things like you take all this into consideration. But like, you can look at a roster and be like, okay, don't touch troopers, don't touch first order, don't touch this, don't touch that. You Old Republic, you've already got Jedi Knight Revan, you might as well get all in for Darth Revan. Right. And then you can start worrying about, especially if you're like, I see rosters like 2 million. They got Jedi Knight Revan, they've got Padme. I'm like, great, we need Darth Revan.
BCM.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, his roster is outstanding.
Yep. And it's better too because I just remodded it.
That's right. How long did you spend on that?
We were at about 3.5 hours to do all that. No, not bad. I mean, that was cleaning out all his mods, all his mods set to slice, and then going through all his teams and then getting the mods correctly on them. Sometimes you can only work with what you got. I did a couple remod sessions this weekend, and it's like, ideally these would be the mods I want. You don't have that, so we'll go with this set. So sometimes you're kind of stuck with what the player has, and then you kind of lay out for them. Because one guy was like, "Okay, I need you to farm these mods. I need you to slice these mods, and then we can go back and do another session." And I see it all the time. And mods is the biggest headache people find, but I'm like, look, now that your mods are squared away, as you get new mods in, I just taught you how to keep track of them. Now you can keep track of them. You got plenty of space.
Yeah.
And then you can, as you get mods in, you know what to look for, and you can sell the ones you don't need, and then you know which sets you need to farm. So, but it's always different. But I think having a game plan for your mods and having a game plan for which teams, and I mean, pick a team. When I did First Order, I did First Order. I didn't work on anything else. Once I went on First Order, I didn't stop until they were at least Gear 11, and I mean Gear 11 with the Zetas. Now I would say that's probably Gear 12. With Gear 13 being initiatives. So, because once I got a lot of characters, like I had 4 or 5 squads that were Gear 11, I'm like, okay, now I'm going to work on Gear 12. I went back to First Order, like, I'm not doing anything else, so all 5 of my main characters are Gear 12.
Yeah.
And that's how you have to kind of approach it.
And that's honestly the best game plan to do is, pick something, keep on it, and like, in my guild, we preach whatever you're going to be running in arena, whatever it is, focus on that first, because you're going to get more crystals. You're going to get, which gives you more resources. That is the key in this game. I know a lot of people don't like arena. I get it. Arena's not for everybody, but if you focus on your arena first, your grand arena is going to be much better. It's going to be much easier.
Yeah, so I kind of have my thing written down, and I've kind of planned out my next few hard nodes. Embo is one of my next hard nodes, and then I don't have many Cantina farms left. I think after Captain Han, it's on to Imperial Super Commando and Gar Saxon.
You mean Saxon?
Well, I don't have a lot left in Cantina.
No. Did you
and then
finish
after
Hawk already?
Oh yeah, that's been done
Oh,
a few months.
oh, nice, very nice.
I got it to 5 stars during its galactic chase, so I could put the reinforcement on it. So I just spent the 600 crystals for the energy pack. I was farming Karth back then, so it was worth it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right? Because I was making the push for Darth Revan, so I bought the crystal thing for 600. I bought the energy thing for 600 crystals and just bought refreshes.
Yeah.
And just was able to dump almost all of that energy directly into Karth. So, yeah. And then my next Zetas are both on Malik, and then I'm going to be doing Talzin's Unique, then Daka's Unique, and then Talzin's Leadership. So those are my next 5 Zetas. The Separatist droids are the next team I'm working on, and then clones. I wanted to put together a pretty good plan going forward, because, man, I'm one of those people that hits the green pluses and doesn't hoard things, right?
I'm the same way.
So
I did
coming
it
up
for
with this,
Treya, but oh my gosh, that killed me.
I was irritated with myself because I went 10 days without equipping a gear piece, and I'm just like, what's wrong with me? Then Malik came out and took it to gear 11, and I'm like, oh.
Oh, thank goodness.
That's what I was doing for the last 10 days. Okay.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah, that felt good, but I know Fruguy's really good at hoarding. I am not.
Oh gosh, I still need to go through Lady Pool's. Ugh. She has. I'm sure she's sitting at 500 Zetas.
What?
It was a joke.
I'm
joking. I think she's up to about 200 though.
Still, share with the class. I
Yeah.
could use 6 or 7 more Zetas.
Honestly, I could too.
Yeah, that's right. I haven't even wasted Zetas on the Phoenix.
Shut up.
Well, yeah, I guess that was kind of an insult. Yeah, that was a good one. I meant it more as amusing. That
Well,
uh,
I also put 3 Zetas on my Phoenix to get Thrawn back when I was not didn't have really any direction in the game. I was just all over the place. I think that
Ranger, what's Zeta do you regret the most that you didn't do for charity?
Oh, none.
Okay.
I have been lucky. I mean, I've always done my research and stuff. I mean, yeah, I did Farm Boy Luke. But I don't really regret. I mean, there's some that, I mean, we're playing our next campaign, but I mean, and I'll probably do another stupid Zeta, but I mean, other than that, every Zeta I've done has been very calculated and on point, right? And the Zetas I'm doing now are just, really the Zetas I have now are for rounding up factions. So Dooku, Newt, and then I'm going back in for any ones that I didn't do, for any character or faction that I'm like, yeah, I didn't do it, I didn't need it, but I'd like to have it kind of at that point for Zetas. Shock T's probably coming to the mix here soon. So I really have to do 2 on Shock T. What's that?
Yeah.
I said her Zetas are really good, actually.
Yeah, they are really, really good. Unfortunately, the clones are just not up to snuff with what
the clones aren't.
Yeah, I was talking about Dodgeston and I were talking about that today too. He just put both Zetas on Shock T, and he was saying, "I think I made a mistake," and I was like,
No,
"Well, it wasn't just me who was saying this, but there were everyone basically the response was, well, you may feel kind of bad now, but in 2 months you're gonna feel really smart." Right?
Yeah.
You're going to feel really smart for having both of those.
Yeah, I mean, even Zetas on, let's say, Maul. I got value out of using Maul. So, back in the day. Now, I don't use them anymore, but it's I mean, I don't, if I never got anything out of it, then yeah. I mean, it's not like I did a Zeta on somebody that, I mean, yeah, I don't have any of those kind of Zetas. I've got Zetas on Cassian and Jin. I hardly use Rogue One, but, I've gotten value out of them for, light side Hoth, and stuff. Phase 4 was a business, and I made sure that I had that team ready to go. So again, it's all subjective, but I mean, there are some Zetas out there. A bad Zeta is a Zeta you put on a character when you shouldn't be putting Zeta on a character, and it's just sitting there and you're not doing anything. It's on a character that's gear 8 that you're not planning on using for a while, and you put a Zeta on them, it's for the future. Well, no, if you're not working on them and stuff, don't put a Zeta. Those are the ones that you should be regretting, because it's yeah, that's bad. Don't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was just say, I think I only have a couple Zetas that I regret, but I don't regret them. I guess I don't regret them that much. HK Zeta is one I sort of regret. Not because it's not good, but just because, Gear 13 kind of made his Zeta irrelevant.
Yeah.
So you can put a Zeta on him at Gear 12, or you can just Gear 13 him, and he does it. The fact that it's awesome, he does 300k on a crit. Does he need to do 300k on a crit? Take away 25% of that, and you're 250 is still fine. 225 is still enough to kill everybody in the game. So I don't regret it a ton because when I put it on him, I needed it. But now, in hindsight, it's one of those I look back on and it's like, that's one that I don't think I'd
probably could
recommend.
have
I
done
don't.
without.
Yeah, that's one that I probably won't recommend to newer people getting it. If they're planning to Gear 13 their team, Gear 13 their HK, I probably wouldn't recommend the Zeta. They can still do it. It's not a bad Zeta. Kind of like what you were saying, Ranger. You'll get your use out of it.
Yeah.
But especially since the meta is going to be changing soon, most likely.
Yeah, possibly.
Yep. Bastila Zeta is one that I regretted I loved up until Darth Revan came out. It's still good, but that foresight is kind of irrelevant in the mirrors.
Yeah.
Oh, I
But
see.
I got
Let's see. Someone's suffering depression.
Oh, absolutely. I rolled 31 mods today, Ranger. Would you like to guess how many of them, or sliced 31 mods today? Would you like to guess how many had speed?
3.
None. Fucking none. None.
Jeez.
They all rolled. They rolled defense because, of course, they do.
Depression.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm about to take I'm about to take a walk out this window. I don't want to limp away.
Depression.
Yeah. But yeah. I don't know, man. I have a couple Zetas I wish I could have back in hindsight, but none that I'm like, oh man, I really regret that.
Yeah.
Just some where it's like, I don't use you for what I Zeta'd you for anymore. So, I don't know.
There's a couple. Well, like, so one of I think my first Zeta was Zeta lead.
Yeah.
And that was when they first came out, and they gave you a free Zeta when they introduced them, and I put it on Vader lead so I could solo Rancor. Come on, just hit speed.
Oh, actually, I kind
No,
of
not protection.
say this. There's only one Zeta that I don't think is great that I did. And that's, I think, Vader's unique. But I was angry because when they reworked Yoda, he kept removing turn meter from my Darth Revan. Or from my Darth Vader. I put the Zeta on him, so he'd stop removing turn meter from my Darth Vader.
Actually, I saw that wrong.
Yeah. Anger leads to hate, nailed it. He's like, I've pretty much given up splicing mods that have both speed and defense as a secondary just because of that.
Yeah. Yeah, if I get a mod that has speed and protection on it, I won't roll it up anymore.
Is that pretty close to Science Ranger? If it has defense,
That's science.
That is really close to science.
My favorite was like one of my favorite instances of that is a Warrior was rolling mods on his weekly stream for Scissorman, and like he rolled defense, and you just like see he just like you see him like get visibly like, oh, I knew this was gonna happen, and you see Sure Shot just like kind of cackle like, right, like roll defense, see,
Yeah.
Man, I wish they'd do something about mods.
Okay. Yeah.
Make speed matter slightly less. Although I've gone on record as saying I like this meta better than Jedi Revan meta because I'd rather mods matter than not at all. But I'd rather speed not be like this matter this much.
Yeah,
right?
no,
So
it's
kind of like I guess I just want it all, right?
yeah. There's holy what the hell? How did I? Never mind. I know why.
Top 50's good.
Oh no, I wasn't able to get my top 20 like I normally do. No, I really, because when I started the stream, I was actually at like 28, I believe. But because I had to switch Yoda to his hard hitting set for Sith Raid, I fell like 20 places.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys are in the YouTube chat, but Ranger Rooster says you're like that girl in high school because you get around.
I did.
No, Ranger. We really appreciate what Ranger's doing. It's he likes helping out the people get on their feet.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started, I mean, we had 5 people watching us. I know how it is, man. I mean, you know, nobody wants to help. You know, it's like, you know, not till you get bigger that people are like, oh, okay, maybe I'll do something with you. And it's just the way, it's just who I am, right?
Oh yeah.
So I mean, like, I'm getting ready. I don't know when this stream ends, but in the next couple minutes, I'm signing off here because we're gonna go do our Patreon gold level workshop with our patrons, you know. So I'm constantly doing stuff, you know. I'm constantly on. I do Miss Stream, I do the Alliance stream. Anybody that asks, you know, I'll be on their stream, you know. Especially, you know, I've been on Doja Sons. I've been on a lot of streams to support anybody.
Wow.
You know, the Escape podcast, you know, all the podcasts I've been on and done stuff with. So I enjoy it. I enjoy hanging out with the fans. I enjoy being out in the community and talking about the game and talking Star Wars shit. I mean, it's just what I do.
Yeah, and we all appreciate it too because you're one of those people that started at the bottom and now you're somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm. And someday I hope to fall further down. I mean,
Yeah,
people, I mean, it's been fun. I mean, I always, you know, I love seeing people take off. You know, I love that Mandalore's having success. I love that Urs. I mean, I remember when Urs had just started.
I do too. I didn't catch his GA streams, but I actually followed him when the first video he did with Cubs. I started watching his videos, and I was like, oh, this guy's
when he first started, we were pimping his stuff, you know. So I mean, we've been around longer than anybody. The only person that's been streaming long that had started before us was it was 3 people before we came along, and that was Skunk, Tiny Grind Games, and what's his name? I can't remember it. So you know, we've been doing it for going on. Next year will be 4 years. So we've been streaming Star Wars Galaxy Hero stuff and been involved with the community. So I mean, we've got a ton of stuff that we've done. So,
and I will say this too. I think I've told you this before, but I try and watch as much content as I can, and there are some people that I enjoy more than others.
Sure.
But I remember when the Jedi Revan event was announced, and like. You went absolutely berserk.
Yeah.
And I don't mean, and like, I saw that and I was just like, these guys are genuine. You know what I mean? Like, that goes a long way. And like, everyone has their own thing on what they find entertaining, blah, blah, blah. But you guys are super genuine with all of your takes. Especially you, Ranger.
Well, yeah, we don't always agree. Like me and Fan and Rondo go at it, you know, all the time because we'll have different opinions about it. You know, so and we've encouraged that, and I don't mind any constructive conflict. I just, you know, make sure and that's a good thing about, you know, Finn. You know, Finn is going to have his opinion, and I want Finn to have his opinion, but he's going to do it in a constructive way. You know, it's not going to be like, well, you're just an ass clown. You know, it just doesn't work for me. But I am very passionate about the community and stuff. And the big thing that I want is I want a great product from CG, and I give them the prompts when they do stuff right. But when they mess up, they need to hear it. They don't need sunshine blowing up their ass. And I'm not there to make them. Oh, I need to. Sometimes, you know, you got to get somebody's attention. Yeah. And the reason I do rants is because it's to get attention. I know that they've seen that, and I know they listen to our stream, and they listen to it intently. So I know I've got the audience. So sometimes you need to get your ass chewed out for the message to sink in, because if you do it passively, they're gonna be like, okay. But if the community is upset, then I need to be upset, because I'm usually upset about something they do. The Jedi Knight Revan thing was garbage, and I let them have it for
I
doing
remember.
what they did.
I think I was on Miss Stream when for the Ranger rant for that. Oh, I missed it. 45.
Yeah. Yeah,
No, it was in
I
top
really
50.
enjoy all of the YouTubers for Swugga for the most part. I think everyone does
Yeah,
a
they have their own
job at
takes.
what they do. Yep.
Yeah, I really wish I had actually stumbled upon RSG a little sooner than I had, because I probably would be a lot better at this game.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the other guys do. I mean, a lot of them are doing more live streams, but before they did videos, and we have always done live stream because I want that. I like that interaction live with an audience, with the fans, so that they can ask questions and get what they need.
Yeah.
You know, instead of trying to get from video and then ask questions in there and then having someone trying to answer. I mean, it's just a different way of doing it. You know, some of the YouTubers are more entertainment. You don't watch Urs to learn. You watch Urs because he's a freaking hoot, dude. I mean,
Lunatic.
he's a lunatic. Yeah, he's a psychopath, but he's our psychopath, and we love him for it, right?
Yeah.
He's just pure entertainment, you know, because he's going to have fun, and he has fun, and
And
just want to be
he
part of
lets
it.
you have fun through him.
Mm-hmm. So, and then some are more serious about the content they put out. And there's, you know, I always tell people, check out everybody, find the ones you like, follow them, but support them, because, you know, they're putting out content, and it's not easy. It's time consuming, and, you know, you want to have your work validated. You know, the effort there is. And as you know, if someone's not doing something you like, just let them know, but do it constructively. You know,
Don't be like the subreddit.
Yeah, I mean, we had a comment from a guy the other day, and he lost me, you know, because I'm like, you didn't put anything in there that was constructive. All you did was cuss and say this, and you didn't offer any solutions. You just said this. So basically, you're an ass clown, and I'm only responding. So hopefully, this message sinks in that you completely lost me with your mental damage. You know,
What the hell? Biggs
That's just
isn't
some people out
taunting.
there.
Let me target someone else. You stupid. What the hell? I'm trying to.
Sweet. Get wrecked.
Oh my god! I can't.
Just do your AOE. Just do your AOE. You'll be fine. Just get them off the board. You'll be fine. Oh, you can call in a reinforcement. Yeah, call in a reinforcement.
That's so.
Just boop him. Just boop him real good.
Yeah.
No.
You'll be fine. Yeah, now you can get Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
But
all.
no,
You're fine.
I didn't realize I had the.
And the Falcon's deleted. And now you can. Now you win.
It's pretty much over. Yeah.
Congratulations. You are now good at this game. You called Cassian's reinforcement. Yeah, no. Kaya hit it. They were all stealthed, but the stealth, there's a bug in the game right now for stealth where it doesn't always show that things are stealthed.
But there was no buff for that it had stealth, so that's, I don't know, that was freaking weird.
Well, you have to look at the turn order and stuff. So, the Ghost did its like mass assist, which means he put everybody in stealth, even though it didn't look like everyone was in stealth. They were. That's why you couldn't target them.
Oh, you guys could see him? I couldn't. It didn't show up for me.
Oh no, we're watching.
Yeah, I know.
I'm watching. No, I couldn't see the stealth. I'm just pointing out that the Ghost's mass assist puts the people he calls it to assist in stealth.
Oh, okay.
Even though they didn't look like they were.
I must have missed that because I didn't think anyone was stealthed.
Science. All right, guys, I got to get ready for my big thing. So it was fun hanging out with y'all. I got to go do my thing.
Like I said, Ranger, I really appreciate you coming on.
No, anytime, brother. Anything I can do to help you, and especially Lady Pool, because I like her more than you.
Wonderful evening. We all agree DK sucks and Lady Pool is awesome.
Yes.
So
this is science.
But you guys have a great night, and I will holler at you guys later.
Absolutely.
Have a good one, buddy. Oh. Yeah. So, yeah, Rooster. That was what I said. Like if you rewind the tape, the Ghost called the mass assist, because I actually did that when he, when he's like, "What's going on?" I actually rewound the stream a little bit to see what happened, and it's that the ghost called a mass assist, and they just didn't go to stealth. Fruguy, are you still there? No, I think Fruguy left.
Oh, he's stealthed.
All right, dude. So what is? Well, I guess we can get to this after your what do you call it? Your fleet battle.
Yeah. Oh no, they had one more frickin' Nikes.
Still on delay.
Nope, I'm watching Lando's Falcon slowly just kill me. Oh, wait, I'm not. Call, hurry up.
Makes sense, Rooster. Yeah, remodding was a huge part of that. Oh, man. Just hit auto. Just hit. Did you get there?
No.
Oh. Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's the first time I've actually had to go with all 4 reinforcements.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't think I've had a 4th reinforcement called on either side of the board since the Millennium Falcon came out.
I usually don't. I usually burn through them really quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to be... Oh, wait, no. I can buy a Zeta.
It's almost like your dailies give you tokens to buy Zetas.
I know. That's why I was like, no, I should have had one. Should have had 2,000 mats or 2,000 tokens today. But
Yeah, future reference, Skype sucks.
a little bit. I'm gonna be working to see. I'm gonna work on Zoom and see how much is what and all that stuff. But yeah. So obviously we said goodbye to Ranger, and we appreciated him being on. That's
And Fruguy made us single mothers. He just kind of left.
yeah. Yeah. So what we the topic of discussion for tonight was really trying to spread the word about creating a plan for yourself. That's what everybody needs for this game. Is we need a plan. You need a plan, and you need to stick to it. Whether it be focusing on your arena, if you haven't gotten your arena should be the first ones. Well, now it's Gear 13, but your first ones to get to Gear 12 plus 5. First and foremost. Am I wrong?
I mean, probably.
You're not helping.
Honestly, at this point, whenever somebody who's new starts, I send them Warriors 5 pillar system.
Yes, you need
And
to.
then I will answer questions from there. And basically, the thing I came up, I shouldn't say I came up with it, but I called it when I decided what I wanted to call it for myself. Whenever CG released a road ahead, I would make my own personal road ahead.
Right.
Because I'm past the pillar system. I'm end game. And it's harder to stay focused end game because you're like, ooh, shiny faction. Ooh, shiny faction. Ooh, green plus era. A green plus. Right? So for me, it was hard to stay focused after the pillar system, after getting the necessary things done.
Right.
And once you start getting into the luxuries, the luxury factions, or the GOTB factions, right? That's the new end game, is GOTB.
Yeah.
Once you start getting into the GOTB factions, that's when you start needing to stay focused. Because especially for me, the last GAC, I went into... So Division 2, I think Kyle mentioned this earlier. It used to be, you had to set 7 teams at 4 million. And then I think there was a higher level at 5 million. I don't remember. I could be wrong. It didn't matter. But then they moved it back to 3.8, and they made it 8 teams. So going into the first Grand Arena Championships, I was 3.9 and had to set 8 defenses, which means I needed 16 total.
Yeah.
I had 12. Right? Like 13 if you counted like Ewoks and 14 if you included Felix. So I was quite short on my teams. So I had to like buckle down and focus up to get the teams I needed done. And right now Kyle's in that same situation where he just needs to get his teams done.
And
Pick a team, finish it. Pick a team, finish it.
And as you can see, so my main focus has been Separatists. Gear 11 Soldier, almost Gear 11 Brood. Spies almost Gear 11. Sunfac Gear 10 and a half. Wait, what is his piece?
Probably a stun gun.
No, yeah, I'm saving my Carbantes for stun guns because where is he? This guy's gonna get my stun gun. Although I'm really tempted to put it on GBA actually, just so I can get most of the Geos to Gear 11.
Yeah. I got the Geos all to Gear 11 except for the pilots who are Gear 12. And Game Boy Advance is probably going to get the Karth treatment. And for those not familiar, the Karth treatment is he's Gear 11 plus 5 and needs a super stun gun.
Well,
and he's never going to
technically,
get it.
he needs 2 super stun guns
Well,
to go to Gear 12.
no, he just needs the one. He needs like
Does
an
he?
extra stun gun or something. Yeah, he just
Oh.
no. Game Boy Advance needs 2.
Oh,
I'm saying
yeah.
the Karth treatment. The Karth
Oh, yeah,
treatment
yeah.
is you need a super stun gun. Here's the middle finger.
Yeah,
Right. That's what I call the Karth treatment.
because Karth honestly isn't that much better at Gear 12.
Yeah. And that's how I
He
feel
will
about
eventually
Game Boy
get there. but
Oh yeah.
not right
Well,
now.
no, mine probably won't. My Game Boy Advance will probably get to Gear 12 at some point, but he's pretty low on the list to give 2 super stun guns to.
Yeah, no, that's a little
I will probably
ridiculous.
I will probably have Grievous Gear 13 before I put a super stun gun on Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
And my Grievous is 9.
Well,
Just for reference, so everybody knows how long it's going to be. Grievous is also not in my favorites. He's
Yeah.
like 6 or 7 tunes away, and then I'll Gear 13 him, and then I'll circle back to Game Boy Advance. Just so much gear, so little time. Man.
So I actually, I'm finally starting to actually slow down from the syringe crunch that is the Separatists. They require so many damn syringes. Ugh. That's literally, so I had a buffer of 300 when I went into the Separatists, and I spent those relatively quick. And the reason these guys, like, I even farmed syringes on this node as soon as it loads.
Are you talking about the Gear 13 node?
Yes. And
Yeah, the Gear 13. I farmed a bunch of
hey, Helenix.
Hey.
So yeah, if you can't tell, I've been hitting this node because I figured if I'm going to be farming syringes, even though they're challenge gear, I might as well get something shiny out of it. So yeah, I have 150 of the flashlights. So
I'm not correcting you.
but yeah,
I mean, in all fairness, the reason you know what it is because they're yeah. Yeah, we all know what you do, DPK.
No. Absolutely. Thank you, Helenix. But
Helenix is A+ people.
absolutely.
Except when he's not.
Yeah.
Then he's like C+.
And what's also really cool about this node is these stupid little Mark 1 armor mods that like you end up needing like a frick ton of them. You get those here too. So
We never discussed that. Are we keeping this? Like what are we keeping this stream or this podcast.
I threw something together today for the title.
No, I know about the Kyle and Dan do Hollywood thing, but I was saying, like, we're keeping this PG-13 because we've like accidentally gone out of our way to not cuss.
Oh yeah.
And
We're gonna try to keep it as low as possible. At least starting out. Once we get over 1,000 followers, we're probably gonna be dropping F-bombs left and right.
Man, that's an awful lot of plus 15s I got to farm.
Yeah, you might want to get started.
So I have 74 plus 15s. How many subs do you have?
I think I'm at like 80 something now.
Oh, damn it.
You gotta catch up.
Man, I was doing so good last week.
I think last week is actually what helped, because I went up like 17 in the last 2 weeks. The start to go. Yes. That having been on Miss Stream a lot. Like I think there was a solid like 4 months that I was on every week. Watching him go from quote unquote monetized to not monetized, the language has definitely gone way out the window, and I don't blame him. And I Miss is really good, really cool people actually. One of the lesser known ex game changers. He's a really good guy and really fun to talk to.
He still thinks Juhani's a good fifth on Karth, but I'll give him a pass for that.
I mean, so I have an issue with Juhani. She's not the greatest character, but she serves a purpose on the Karth team.
She's a paperweight.
Yeah, well, mine is. But, I took mine to Gear 12. And, like, 30 Zetas away, she'll end up getting one. That's not for a while, though.
So I've been doing a lot of testing with the Karth team, and I've just come to the decision that Juhani's just useless on the team. Because whenever she's called to assist, she doesn't do anything. Right? Like, she doesn't put down dots. She does 10% more damage for each debuffed enemy.
I was going to say...
She's like a wet noodle, so she still doesn't do a ton of damage. And she's actually kind of squishy for a tank. And then when you whack her, she goes stealth.
Yeah. That's...
And really what she brings to the team is a cleanse. And...
Which is nice.
But that is a very replaceable effect.
Yeah.
Especially when Juhani isn't as much of a liability if you throw her on the Jedi Revan team. In fact, she makes your team faster and hit harder.
Yeah. She actually doesn't... So, mine at Gear 12 without any... Oh, sorry, with a multi-tool. She's at 3,200 offense. That's not actually terrible.
Yeah, but it's the base damage that stinks, right?
Oh, well, yeah, in her abilities,
if you look at her hits, if you look at what she hits for, it's like nothing.
No, it
really Canderous is pretty noodly until he gets to Gear 13, and Canderous hits harder on one of his hits than Juhani does when everyone has a debuff. Right? So I've just come to the conclusion that she's just, like, not quite good enough to be on the team. Especially, like, when you can add a pre-taunt so they can't go directly after mission.
That's L3 would be comes to
or if you put Akbar in there. Akbar's really cool because he can give Zalbar back-to-back turns, and by extension give Mission back-to-back turns.
Yeah.
He also brings a heal and a cleanse. So again, I'm not saying that I do think Juhani's a bad character, but I'm not saying that she's not useful if you had to gear her for Darth Revan and Malak, because I have her gear 11. I use her every GA. I found uses for her because she is geared. Just remember, leave her unique at 6.
Yeah,
For the love of God,
don't pull a Kyle.
leave her unique at 6. Please. This is
So
a PSA to everyone farming Juhani right now. If you put the 7th piece on her unique, she goes stealth, which she goes below, which she hits. What is it? When she gets under 100% health,
yeah,
and then she stops taunting.
Yeah. So if you go to 6, Juhani recovers 20% of her max health at the beginning of each of her turns while taunting. Juhani has 35% counter chance. If you go to 7, it adds this ability. When Juhani drops below 100% health, she gains stealth for 2 turns. If Juhani is taunting when this condition is met, she loses taunt. So basically, your taunt gets dropped.
She dispels her taunt and doesn't do her job. So if you put the 7th on her, you're then forced to put the Zeta on her, which reads.
So it adds. I'm going to read what it adds. When Juhani drops below 100% health, she recovers 5% protection for each active Jedi or Old Republic ally, then gains offense up and health steal up for 2 turns. That's why I said she's like 30 Zetas down the road. So yeah, if you're doing Juhani for the Karth team, it is actually better to keep her at 6 because then she doesn't lose her taunt. It's not till she gets to her Zeta. When she gets her Zeta, that's when she's working at peak efficacy.
So the way that the team actually works is when she falls below 100% health, Zalbar taunts. Right? And then she loses taunt, which then makes everyone focus on Zalbar, who's the person you don't want anyone to focus on. So you actually want the AI to have to, or the player who's attacking you to have to bounce between the taunts, or, just, you know what I mean? Like, it just kind of messes with the way the team wants to function. That's why I said you want L3, because she's also a consistent taunter. Or you want Akbar, who's a cleanse, and who, I actually really like Akbar in the team, especially on offense. Akbar's better when you can use his abilities for control, right? Letting Zelbar go 2 turns in a row, lead with armor shred, and then hit somebody and let mission take 2 turns. You can hurt people real fast.
Oh yeah. And I ended up. So when I remodded for the Malik event, I didn't have to take away any arena mods. The only arena mods that I put on were on mission, and I gave her my Grandmaster Yoda high offense set.
You need to put tenacity. You need to put tenacity on him.
I want to find him a tenacity cross actually.
At minimum a cross.
But seriously, 72k protection, 40k health.
Hold on, don't you have a thing to play?
Don't I have a thing to play?
You have a sound bite.
I do. Hold on. Oops. Snaps. So, where is it? No. Where is it? Uh-oh. Don't do this to me. Thank you.
Anyways, Helenex gets it.
I don't know where it went.
Did you lost it?
I did. What the heck? Let me, hold on. Let me go over here.
Man, good thing no one's watching or listening to this, right?
Yeah, right. Technical errors, my bad.
Well, to be fair,
Oh, wait.
we got this fired up like 6 minutes before the.
Yeah, I was running late on with work. And, ugh.
It's time for Mods! Modding advice with Dogeson.
Well, there's one clip I had. Modding advice with Dogeson, without Dogeson. And let's see if I can actually get in. Oh.
See, this is all because Fruguy left.
It is. Just blame the Fruguy.
Literally always.
Yeah, but oh no. Back. But yeah, it's I actually am gonna keep my for the most part, I'm going to keep the mods that I left for the event, because 63% crit chance on defense. He's going to be constantly critting, and
Well,
armor shreds.
you only need what, like 20%, 25% crit chance for him to actually crit?
So yeah, about that.
Yeah, like that was my point. Is like you need like a 20 to 25% crit chance because they have 5 tunes. So you just need to crit once in 5 tries. I think my Zelbar is around 40% crit chance, and that's more than good enough. So for the event, you wanted to make sure you crit when you only had like 3 things to hit. So that upped, and you wanted to like make sure that you critted every time. So yeah, it changed the way you modded to a certain degree.
It really did. And it was fun doing it. I really enjoyed the event. I might be a masochist or something, but I enjoyed the event. It was actually a really well put together event.
I'm sure.
Like it made you think. It made definitely had to be careful with it. Hellenix, that is probably true. Your mommy did probably tell you you are special. So, always playing Fruguy. So, Fruguy is going to end up being our Finn. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I beat you to it.
Yeah, you did.
No, we love Fruguy. He's the tech guy behind DPK and Dogeson and Well, pretty much everything I'm ever a part of, including my GACs, and also it's
Your
just Ian.
ASMR GACs.
Yes, the ASMR GACs with Dagger.
I actually listened to one of your GACs and I was like, this is actually ASMR.
Yeah, one of my shard mates called today. He's like, this is like you're always. He's like, I am. It was funny. He's like, I imagine you're a loud person. I'm like,
For the
no.
most part.
No, he's not. We've never actually talked on a voice chat or anything. He just said, you're a loud person. I was like, no. He's like,
Ian, you're gonna be doing an ASMR? Porkaholics Anonymous. I don't think Fruguy likes porgs though.
no, he's an Ewok guy.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Specifically a Wicket.
Specifically, that very specific Ewok.
Yes, very specifically, he is a Wicket. A Wicket variety of Ewok.
ASMR remodding. Oh, I would pay to listen to that, actually.
I mean, I wouldn't pay Ian to do anything. He's very pasty.
Oh, no, not him. I mean,
Okay.
for anybody else.
Yeah, I imagine that. I imagine that's how everyone that Ranger remods for reacts. Just ASMR. No, please don't. No, not that.
It's probably
I
a
like those
possibility.
mods. Why'd you delete my +20? Why'd you erse my +20s?
Oh my god.
Have you been drinking?
Oh my goodness. That stream was so rough to watch. Oh my god. I thought he was gonna throw up. Like watching his face when he did that, he was like I honestly thought he was gonna like physically throw up.
But you think, Helenix, I thought that's exactly how Ian took it, laying down. Sorry, we have crossed over from G-rated. I'm on like beer number 6. How's your hat raid going? How early did you get in?
Well, I was 18 minutes shy of when it launched.
Oh,
So I had like 15 or 20% on P2. So.
do I look like a priest to you, Ian?
Ooh, yikes. Ouch. Ugh. Hey, let me call the Poke Center real quick and get you some burn heal.
Joke's on you. They sold those to Pokemarts, not the Poke Centers.
Oh, you know what? It's been so long since I've played Pokemon. Oh, I actually have a DS around here somewhere. So I actually back a little history, way back in the day, when I think it was 2nd generation came out. They started with the breeding. Oh, shut up. And we're back to reality. But no, I actually enjoyed doing the whole breeding, trying to get characters to unlock certain.
Is that why you have 2 kids?
Yes,
You enjoyed the whole breeding thing?
I did actually, a little bit. Mister, I have 4.
Hey. I like one of them.
Only one of them.
No, Pokemon is actually one of the things that made me love things like Swugga.
Yes.
The turn-based RPG with like the IVs, the EVs, the gear, the different items you'd put on them, put into them, right? Breeding, there was just a lot to it, and I really enjoyed that. And the thing I love about those style of games is that for the most part, they're not super time consuming if you don't want them to be.
No.
Or rather, you can put as much or as little time into them as you want. And even in a game such as Swugga, I can go 2 weeks with just doing like a couple arena battles and dailies, and I'm still good.
Yeah, and that's one thing I've liked about Swugga is that it really you get out of it what you put into it.
Yes. Man, I'm still amazed that you do the hat raid. I gave up trying to get first place. Or I'll try to get first place when I actually get first when I get it. Like when I enter the hat, if I'm first, I'm gonna do it because I still need my first place hat.
The tank tamer.
Yeah. Yes, I did say that, Helenix. I did say that. I enjoy putting items into Poke Your Mom.
Wow.
Specifically yours. Specifically yours. Well, he brought it up. I'm just kidding, Helenix. You know I love you. Also, I'm sad that made it onto the stream. We may cut that in editing, but who are we kidding? No one's editing this.
Yeah, right. We like to fly by the seat of our pants.
Well, you like things in the seat of your pants. I just fly by.
Whoa. You're not supposed to say that about it, man.
Crap. Just for reference, every day in the Deadpool household is International Women's Day.
It's really not, but Dagger likes to think so. And if you don't get that reference, go watch Deadpool. That's all I can say is just go watch Deadpool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to be told twice. Yeah, it really stinks when it's friends on the same podcast because we've been doing this for 2 hours and yeah, we haven't said a whole lot.
Yeah, no, this is actually like one of the better nights. I haven't been insulted completely all night.
Yeah, I've been nice to you tonight. I mean, your first podcast was pretty savage.
Yeah, it was. Oh my
god. No, the answer to your question is no.
What's a glass of water?
Hold on. DPK, I'm gonna send you a thing on Discord real quick.
Okay.
There.
Oh, okay. Yeah, gotcha. Hold on. There it is. And where? Oh, there you are. Let me open this up.
All right.
Ian, check your Discord real quick.
Oh, all right. Yeah. So it's not letting me do that for Spotify because I don't know if it allows. I don't know how the terms of service read between Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know how
there's
the
nothing popping up in
between
for me either.
Spotify and YouTube, but there is no Spotify link away pending approval.
Oh. He doesn't use Skype.
Oh.
Rip.
Yep, and that's why Skype sucks.
So I'm probably gonna change it next time. It'll let me see how much or what I can do with Zoom and whatnot. And click
Well,
on-
Zoom for screen sharing specifically, so I can throw my screen at you too.
Yeah.
Because I think that was part of the plan for Skype was the screen sharing thing. But Skype as an app is choppy and not particularly good
No.
as far as like a video conferencing style thing goes for streaming. So
Yeah, I don't know why it won't let him post the link. Because I show nothing on mine. So, but yeah.
Yep.
So we'll probably end up doing Zoom next time.
which is fine.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. I believe just doing some cleanup here because I think DPK is probably on board with we're gonna wrap up probably directly after his tank raid.
Yeah. Which
Yep.
should be in
So-
about 15, 20 minutes tops.
Yep. So this is going to be a little longer one because we wanted to have Ranger on and we wanted to talk about some specific stuff with him. And yeah, we had an agenda that got derailed because, Grand Arena got canceled.
Yeah.
So a little disappointed in that. But some of the I'm going to unlock Watt in like 2.5, 3 months. Well, I don't know if that's true. At the current rate we're going, it'll be that long. I assume we'll be getting more shards going forward. But I think we got 11 or 12 last time. Oh, you want to Watt team thoughts? I'm just going to make him the 5th on Karth. I'll do more theory crafting when I actually get him. Or when more people I know actually have him. Right? I don't know enough about I've read his kit. I've done some theory crafting, but his kit is unique enough where I can't, off the top of my head, tell you how effective he'll be in any of the teams I have off the top of my head. My HK is going to be homeless going forward. So hopefully I can do something with him and Watt. When I finish up Malik the 7 stars, it's going to be Malik, Sith Trooper, Sith Marauder, Darkside Bastila, and Darth Revan. So HK will be lonely, but he does a crap ton of damage. So if I use Watt with him, my best guess is for me, I'm going to use him in a hodgepodge team. But I won't know until I get my hands on him. It's much like Wampa, and he's better than Wampa. I'm not trying to say he isn't. But a lot of those plug-and-play characters, yeah, I wouldn't mind some videos. Again, one of the problems, too, is a 4-star Watt does different things than a 7-star Watt. And by that I mean 7-star Watt does more things because he doesn't die. So I'm not gonna know much about Watt for a very long time personally. Because you bought him differently at 4 stars than 7 stars.
Yeah.
But I'd definitely be down
By
to
the
talk
way,
about some
everybody
crafting.
say hi to Ian.
Hello?
There he is.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
no.
I hate Skype.
Skype sucks.
It does.
All of the things and the stuffs. TPK was farming one of them earlier.
Yeah.
I'm gonna gear 13 my mace if that's gonna, be a thing. I guess I shouldn't say anything, but Mace is one I want to work on because
Yeah.
he's fun.
And he's probably going to get a rework. I mean, CG's probably not dumb enough to not rework him.
Yeah. Right now, I gotta finish up B1 in Droideca's 7-star, and then I'll swap right over to all the Cantina Jedi for the Clone Wars.
I mean,
Starting with probably Ayla and Plo Koon. Plo's not that bad because he's in the fleet one, but Ayla and Kit are going to be the worst ones to farm.
Ayla and Plo and Kit all have reasonably good kits. They're just outdated kits.
They're outdated
like
kits and they're outdated stats, really, too.
That too.
Yeah.
So
I can see Ayla being disgusting with all her counters and stuns.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what CG is going for is 2 different Galactic Republic teams.
Yeah.
One of them is like a Padme team, and the other one is probably going to be, we'll just say, Galactic Republic Jedi specifically.
Yeah.
So, I think there'll be like a Jedi-only node in TB.
I think so too.
Well,
You're right. Sorry, Helenix. You are right. CG is absolutely dumb enough to not update Mace Windu.
yeah, no, that's true. So I think, what they did with the Geos being for the Ackley event, I think for the Reek event, it's going to be, like Dagger said, the Jedi. That makes sense. No, because the clones never really were in the quote-unquote battle.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's probably going to be Jedi to fight the Reek, and it's probably going to need, like...
Was there any specific Jedi when fighting the Ackley that we see? Or is it just, like, a bunch of weirdos that, like, nobody knows of?
I seem to remember Plo and...
Was Kit in there?
No, but, I'm a Gundai.
Some footage.
I think it was I'm a Gundai.
Maybe it's random.
I seem to, yeah.
I'm gonna just watch Warriors video since that's the first one that pulled up. All right. Let's see. I'm a Gundai is the only one I see in his, plus Consular, Guardian, and that fish dude. So I think it's random. Doesn't really give out too much info on that.
I believe you're right, Helenix. In the film.
Well, I'm looking at the picture from the film, and it's Shock T, Kit Fisto, Plo Koon.
Which Shock T wasn't actually in the arena for that.
Oh, do you want to go look at the picture again?
Well, there was 3 of them, right? There was that, and then there was a tiger thing, right?
Yeah, I forget.
But it's hinted towards Reek anyway, so the tiger's probably out of the equation.
I'm gonna go post a picture on Ian's Discord because, here you go, Ian. I just screenshotted this, and I'll put it on yours too, TPK, on the Sorga Talk.
Okay.
When they're all standing in that little stupid circle.
You get the big forehead dude with a Plo getting... Yeah.
And Kit Fisto's right there in the bottom corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Plo Koon,
Shock T is
Moon.
right. Shock T is in there.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
I think it's going to be those Jedi.
It's a very good possibility.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys think we'll see new ones like that guy right? The green lightsaber above Kit, whatever that guy's name is. I don't know. He has like horns coming out of his head that drape to his shoulders.
All right, so here they are: Ayla Secura, Plo Koon, Tieti Munde, Coleman Trebar, Shock T, Luminara Unduli, Pablo GL, Kit Fisto, Barris Offee, Agent Kolar, and Boltar Swan.
Huh.
Those are the Jedi that were in the arena. The Jolie Fisto guy is Pablo Gio. For the record.
What I think might happen is we'll get maybe like a full-on Clone Wars Jedi team, and then we'll see probably 2 different variations of clones teams based off of different leaderships, like maybe one with Kiadi or maybe one with Shock, but Shock's already pretty much guaranteed one for that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of different teams out of this faction. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I feel like it's like the biggest faction in the game we have, isn't it? I almost want to say that's true. No, maybe Rebels can compete with that.
I was gonna say I think Rebels might have more. I think Rebels have like 30
Yeah,
characters in it.
Rebels is way bigger.
All right, here's a better thing for it, Ian. I'm gonna post it in your thing.
Yeah, I'm
list
just really
all-
starting off low. Oh, that's gonna be an annoying farm, man. If Shock T. Oh man, Shock T, Plo, and Ayla are gonna be my next farms. Well,
Yeah.
or depending on like whenever she's gonna be on a node.
My guess is a fleet node, because why would they give us something nice?
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's what they would do, man, because they have Anakin ship that on that same fleet node or a fleet node, I guess. That'd be
Dude,
super
what
annoying.
if they put it on Anakin's fleet node?
I'd be so pissed. Oh my gosh.
Then you know how I feel about Houndstooth.
Like I went out of my way to farm that ship up when nobody else was farming that ship.
I've been that ship has a shit drop rate for me. I started it when I was
Ray Rock,
farming.
hold on. Ray Rock, the Jedi who are not Anakin or GK were Ayla Secura, Plo Koon, Kiadi Mundi, Coleman Trebor, Shock T, Luminar Unduli, Pablo GL, Kit Fisto, Barris Offee, Ojin Kolar, and Boltar Swan. Those were the Jedi who were in the circle on Geonosis.
Which I think
So,
the guy with the horns
In
that
the-
quote unquote looks like Eth Koth is actually the guy that replaced Eth Koth's seat on the council, who ends up in episode 3 going to confront Palpatine. Because if I'm not mistaken, Eth Koth actually dies in Clone Wars.
Yeah. But yeah. So Ray Rock, those were the ones who could be fighting the Reek. The other Jedi were there; they just weren't in the arena, right? That's what I was looking for. We're looking for the possible new Jedi we'd be getting that fought in the actual arena against the Reek. Not yes, Eth Koth was there. He was just up in the stands, or whatever. Right? There was a lot of Jedi there.
Well, yeah,
Like-
I mean, they went there in force and kind of got decimated, and then the clones saved their ass.
Well, there's 11 there. That would, if they were to, get all those guys into the game, that would be a lot of different possibilities of teams right there. I doubt it, though.
I'm one of those people where I'm okay with less Jedi. And what I mean by less Jedi is no more new ones for the rest of the game. I don't hate the Jedi faction. I just think that there are too many.
I only want, like, the famous Jedi in the game. I don't really care too much about these weirdos.
I would like the Sith faction to be wider.
Oh,
There's
yes.
I don't even need named characters for my Sith, right? Like you can branch out, right? Just add more Sith. There are 3 excellent leaders, and Palpatine's basically strictly Empire, EP Vader and Empire, right? And then Treya's like, the Sith are just stretched way too thin.
Yeah.
That's kind of, you know what I mean. There's a ton of Jedi. I wouldn't mind seeing reworks, but I want to see them round out other factions, because Resistance has like 10 total characters. First Order has less.
Yeah. Well, you
I-
can't
I-
even
I-
you can't even field 2 teams with First Order. I don't think. Yeah, I think there's only like Special Forces, TIE Fighters, Stormtrooper, regular First Order TIE Pilot, Kylo Ren Unmasked, Kylo Ren, Phasma, Executioner, and First Order Officer. So 8.
Look at him. He can read the in-game names.
No, I'm not even reading.
You probably have GG pulled up on another monitor.
I don't. I actually don't.
Don't even front about your intelligence.
But yeah, it would be nice to get more First Order. It would, or even a semi-decent another Resistance lead.
Yeah.
I miss my Finn.
No, I don't think we're gonna get Mandalorian characters before Episode 9. I think we're waiting till like next summer for Mandalorian tunes. I think we're gonna get Resistance tunes before
You don't think we'll get that Mandalorian movie guy, the lead character?
Considering we didn't get Rebels characters till after season 2.
I think there's just like so much to be done right now with all the content that it makes sense if they were to just hold off on all that stuff until after the movie.
Yeah, so this Clone Wars stuff is going to lead us all the way up to like November. It really is. They have a ton of stuff to do. They still have to do, not have to, but we're still probably going to get the Malevolence. We still have an epic showdown. We still probably have another legendary, right? Like, we have a lot of stuff coming. We have Lightside TB to roll out. And then Episode 9 is going to hit, and then we're going to have that for like 3 to 4 months. And we might get Resistance, like the TV show, we might get a couple of Resistance TV show characters to help round out the actual Resistance faction.
Yeah.
Or we can move into the resource drain before Episode 9 is probably going to be a new showdown event.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go right into another showdown event from Episode 9, right?
Yeah.
My assumption is we're going to get a Clone Wars epic confrontation in November, and then we're going to get an Episode 9 epic confrontation in like January or February.
Wasn't there like something like that, like around JTR, and then we had like another one, like another big one, and that kind of screwed us over for those being free to play?
Yeah, like you mean the vets and like stuff like that?
Yeah, like farming the vets up and then getting JTR, and then like right after something big happened. I'm not sure what that was. Was it Chewie? I don't know.
No, that was the Chewie event, and then 3 weeks later, Jedi Revan happened.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it was that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably what it will do here.
And then right after CLS was BB-8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to think. We haven't had, except for like the last like calendar year, we haven't had a lot of legendaries in this game that I can remember that were like spaced, that were close together, I should say. They haven't been focusing on the resource drain until like this summer. Last fall and then this summer, they've been really focusing on the resource drains. Like if you look at the month of July, they gave us like Jedi Knight Revan, CLS, JTR, and Chewbacca and the Falcon. Not in that order, but you know what I mean. They gave us all of these things you had to gear, and then they give you a week off at the beginning of August, and then it's like Padme Malik. That's basically what they're going to do for the remainder of this game. Here's a thing. Oh, sorry, you don't get the next thing.
Pretty much.
Well, who do you think the next Malik type of, or not really event, but Malik character that we'll see next? Because Malik, I don't know if anybody can, come close to even being as good as Malik as of right now. There's just, or in like future content, like that would have to be like such a huge, like push in like how a character is designed. Like that is just going to be nuts. I can't really fathom that. I really don't want to see that, but I don't know. It's going to be really weird if we do.
Yeah, I don't. It really depends on who this new epic confrontation character is going to be.
Yeah. So, Helenish, what I was saying, though, is when you look at the arena on Geonosis, right? Yes, all of those Jedi were there, but if you look at the arena on Geonosis, the ones fighting the Reek, right, we're talking about the TB. Who will be needed for the TB? Like, who is not in this game that was in that, like, screenshot? But yes, there was, like, 100 Jedi at Geonosis. Right? Like, I don't know all of their names, but yes, there was a crap ton. I was just trying to go off the screenshot that was fighting the beast in the arena. The initial list of people who would be who could be brought to this game to fight the Reek, right? Because we're probably not going to get, I don't know, who wasn't on. We won't get people who weren't there, right? That's what I guess what I was trying to say. At least I think. I think the next Malik event is going to be a Galactic Republic or Separatist. And I think we're going to get it at the beginning of November.
I don't know if it would be a separatist. I can't think of a.
Palpatine. Senator Palpatine.
Well, if they were going to do a dark side, like a Malik, they would do like a light side version of Malik. That's like equivalent or counters him to some point.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's probably a Galactic Republic Jedi.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, it's probably a Galactic Republic Jedi, and it's probably someone who sits on the council that's not in game. Right?
Whoa. Easy there.
I will direct you to CG saying you'll be slapping your forehead.
Jar Jar Binks confirmed.
Yep, absolutely. But isn't he Darth Jar Jar? He's dark side. We were talking about light side characters, remember, Ian?
No, he's not. He's not Darth Jar Jar, and not until episode 10. You know, he's still a good guy.
That's fair, Helenex. There are plenty of no-name Jedi.
I don't want to
also
see too many of those no-name Jedi. I want to see more clones added rather than those.
I agree. I would love to see the clones more like Imperial Troopers. If I'm being
Like
honest.
you said, there's already a lot of Jedi, and me being a Jedi lover, I think we're gonna be hitting a point where there's gonna be just too many. And I think with GR, they got to really branch out to more clone stuff, and then kind of implement some of these clone leaders being the Clone Wars Jedi, like Shaak Ti. Hopefully, Kiadi's gonna be one of those, and then kind of play around that. Or maybe having like the Cody guy being like a really god tier leader for the clones. I don't know.
Well, the other thing too is as they start reworking like the, if they get to like the I'm a Gun Dies and the Plo Koons and the Kit Fistos, I fully expect like at least Plo Koon to have clone synergy.
Well,
He
synergy,
does.
yeah.
He already has clone synergy, actually.
I mean meaningful clone synergy like Shaak.
Yeah.
I meant like Shaak Ti, almost Shaak Ti level, right? So you can use him under somebody else, but I do expect all those Jedi that have, because all the Galactic Republic Jedi pretty much all have leaderships, I think.
What would you rank the Shaak Ti leadership with clones as of right now, considering they're all Gear 12? Like on a scale of like A being just the best and then like F being crap.
C minus.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The problem is that the clones themselves suck.
They really.
Yeah.
They're.
It's not Shaak Ti's fault, right? It's not specifically Shaak Ti's fault.
She definitely changes that faction.
Oh, she took that faction from an F to like a C minus.
Oh,
Which is
absolutely.
pretty epic. I say C minus because like I consider Crew to be a C team, and I think the clones are worse than Crew. No, I'm just being honest. Like I think they
Yeah.
are.
Sounds
I think
good.
the clones will probably be a B team, right? They'll be right up there with like, they might even be better than Karth, right? If we're looking for power level, right?
Well, yeah, they wouldn't release clones to be, you know, Jedi Revan type level or Darth Revan even. They would make it something. I always compare them to the Ewoks, right? And the Geos. Geos is like a better version of the Ewoks, and
Yeah.
I think they'll fit somewhere around there between those two
Yeah.
factions.
That's a good possibility, actually.
I think they will look a lot. I think that they will beat Geos and Night Sisters. I think that they will beat Night Sisters strictly because in order to beat the Geos, the mechanics of the team will beat the brakes off Night Sisters. Right? Like,
Yeah.
I think yeah, see, that's the problem, Ray Rock. Your argument for clones being like you're starting to make an argument for clones being good, and you're starting with Sergeant is decent. We can just stop the argument there.
And
When
that's
one of them is
it only goes lateral with them. There's no
Yeah.
he's much better. No,
I think we're going to get 2 more 501st clones, and I think the 501st.
So I have no idea what that means. Can you expand on that? Like which ones are 501st and which ones aren't?
Okay, so any of the ones that are in game that have blue tags on them.
Wait, give me a sec. Okay.
Fives, Rex, and Echo.
They're helmets, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Any of those people that have.
And then Sarge is like a different one. Same with Cody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Cody's the 212th,
Which
and
is under
Sergeant
is under
like
Kenobi's.
GK.
Yeah.
Well, wait. Which ones out of the ones in the GOTB are 501st that we would like to have? None of them. Okay.
No. None of them are 501st.
No,
I think that's on
Cons
purpose.
Yeah, I think.
I'm gonna
Cons-
Google 501st. I want to see which ones could be added.
I know we're missing Apo. I don't remember all of them, but he was a name.
No. So Clone Sergeant. Excuse me. Clone Sergeant is actually. I don't care what anybody else says, but he is actually Heavy from the Clone Wars.
Yeah, but Heavy 501st.
Jedi General Anakin Skywalker, Jedi Commander Ahsoka Tano, and Clone Captains Rex. They're the guys over 501st. They wouldn't. No, the Anakin and Ahsoka we have in game are the same ones, right? That they would.
Yeah, we have the Anakin, Ahsoka, and Kenobi from the Clone Wars TV show.
Yeah, keep in mind I'm saying all this because I haven't seen an episode of that, so I'm a noob. I'm a noob at all of it.
No, that's fine. Basically, you can tell the clones apart because they're colored. They have different colors. So Kenobi led yellow ones, and Mace Windu led green ones, and Anakin and Ahsoka led blue ones.
Mm-hmm.
And Pons is a green one. He was under Mace, apparently.
Yes, he was.
I don't remember seeing him in the cartoon, but I do know that I think Apple was the other captain. So I expect to see him. And then the Heavy was 501st. We might actually get Heavy. We could just also get generic ARC Trooper or Clone Medic.
Is there a way to check the GOTB right now? To look at all the stuff?
No, unfortunately not. I really wish they'd put a review phase in for GOTB.
Hey, I gotta go, guys. Sorry.
All right, have a good one.
We're actually gonna get off here anyways. It's time for me to take a shower and get ready for bed. It's 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, that's why the 501st is a big thing, is because the 501st turned into Vader's Fist. That's what it was called. And they were the original stormtroopers. They turned in because the 501st, I think, was the first faction to be Phase 2.
yes.
And Phase 2 had the stormtrooper helmets.
Yep.
Whereas you see the Clone Sergeant Phase 1 has the clone helmet. Jar Jar, no, Ian, stop it. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get the Bad Batch as much as I'd like it. I think they're building to something specific, which is why we're getting the 501st.
Yeah.
And I'll just kind of say that. I think we're building to something that specifically... I think the reason for the 501st is that they'll be required for another event, specifically. Either something in the TB that requires the 501st, or something outside of the TB that requires clones, but specifically the 501st faction. But they'll use it'll say clones, but the clones in canon that did the thing would be the 501st. Think Umbara and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. That's a very good possibility.
I think we'll get something. They're not going to... I don't think they're going to... Reworking the Geos allowed people to just auto Tier 7 of Padme. I think the clones are going to be needed for something outside of TB.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no real reason to make them a real faction. See Rogue One. see Imperial troopers. You know, they haven't really been a thing for a while. But they were needed for their respective TBs.
Yeah.
I mean, troopers had a run. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying troopers are bad. I'm just saying their usefulness is limited outside of TB. They have specific counters. I think the clones will get. I can't spit it out, Rooster. Even if I knew something, I couldn't. I'm not saying I know anything. I'm just saying, like, even if I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to speak very carefully here because, I don't want to give anybody false hopes. We'll just kind of put it that way. I just think that the clones play a bigger picture, especially since CG literally said, when asked how good will the clones be, and it's like they will, and the answer was they will get better with time. I think that answer kind of covers where I'm going. I think they'll be needed for like a legendary event or something, and I'll just kind of say that. As much as I dislike clones.
Yeah. I tend to agree with that.
That is true. That is true. There are a ton of named clones. I hope we get 10 or so named clones and about 5 grunt clones, right? I would love to see ARC Trooper, not the actual ARC Trooper in TB. That guy can suck one. But I think we could see like maybe 2 more like good clone like peons, so to speak. And I think we could get a few more named clones too, because we are missing a fair amount of named ones. I assume we're going to get another ship, yes. Not all. That's the thing that I hope we don't get the medic from TB. I'll just kind of say that. I hope we get a medic, but I don't want the same one from TB.
No, not the same one from TV.
That guy's a little nutty.
So he like kills himself to actually bring someone back.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing. So one of the problems with with clone ships specifically. No, that's fair, Halonix. I think one of the problems with the clone ships specifically is that the clones only had 3 models of ships, I believe.
Yeah.
They had like the ARC-70 and then 2 other types of ship.
Just give me the last frickin' piece, you piece of. Oh my.
So goodness. I think the level of the level of like new ships we're gonna get from the Clone Wars is kind of low, considering all the Jedi had ETAs pretty much.
Yeah. They did. Ahsoka, GK. Well, GK obviously also had the capital ship, but they all had the ETA 2s.
Yeah. So I think it is limited to what they're going to be able to do, as far as like adding more Galactic Republic ships. I think we'll get 1 or 2 more, and I think it'll make however they decide to roll out their malevolence. I think it'll make it easier to acquire that.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to get a ton of new ships from this era. I think we might get 1 more Separatist ship and maybe 1 to 2 more clone ships. Yeah, I don't remember who Kix was off the top of my head, Alex, but I wouldn't mind more named clones. Especially like a named medic would be cool too.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I think I'm going to be signing off here, so we might as well wrap this up.
Yep. It's about that time.
We've been going 2.5 hours, and I think that's a bit long for the average ones.
Yeah, it's a little bit long, but you know what? We had fun. We got a lot of topics covered, and we hope you guys, tell your friends, tell your guildmates, whatever. Come watch the video or listen to the video, whatever. I don't care. I really appreciate you guys coming out. I really want this to get out there because me and Dagger, we've been pretty consistently talking for what, about 4 months now,
Something like that.
and
This is basically an extension of our voice chats.
it,
That was kind of the idea.
it really is, and we want to get our thoughts and our concerns and even our help out there.
Well, DPK does. I just want to make fun of DPK.
I mean, obviously, but
To set the bar incredibly low, DPK wants to try and help, and I want to troll.
I do. I enjoy helping people. Actually helped one of Hellenix's alliance mates after they got Jed Revan the second time, I think. Completely, I went through his roster and helped him, and I check in from time to time, and he's doing great. He's asked me a couple questions. Yes, eventually when I get it, I will sit here in a damn cosplay of Deadpool. Swords
And
and all.
hopefully next week you'll be able to see my ugly mug.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get that figured out, but
Skype sucks for the screen sharing thing. I think we're gonna try Zoom
yeah,
next week, just because I can share my screen as well, right? So you can rotate screen sharing.
yeah.
We'll have to kind of work it out a little bit, but yeah, it's an ongoing process. We thank you for your patience when it comes to technical and other stuff.
Because we're kind of like flying by the seat of our pants a little bit, but we wanna.
And once again, every night in the DPK household is International Women's Night. Tell your friends.
But yeah, we want to get out there, and we want to have fun. That's mostly what this is about. We want you guys to have fun with us.
Well, at DPK's expense.
That's besides the point. But thank you guys for coming out. Spread the link around to other Discord servers if it's not already there. And I appreciate you guys coming out. I really do. At that, we're going to click the button, and we're going to get out of here. So, have a good night, guys.